Something very interesting is happening in this country. A few months ago, William Ruto introduced the Finance Bill 2024 in the country. And they thought it was going to be a smooth sail like they did in the Finance Bill 2023. As usual, the opposition did not have the numbers, and so the government forcefully passed the Finance Bill 2024. Unlike the Finance Bill 2023, Gen Zs went to the streets and they terrorized William Samoei Ruto. He decided to succumb and he said he was not going to sign that bill. You know what happened? The mayhem that took place, people abducted, tortured, and killed. Before we knew it, Raila joined hands with William Samoei Ruto and they ended the Gen Z protest. Now, the Finance Bill 2024 is back. And I want us to read, because as they bring this Finance Bill 2024 back, things are funny. The very people who opposed the Finance Bill 2024 are now in support of that bill. John Mbadi is the one who is reintroducing that bill. But that is not the end. As they do that, they want to prevent anyone who will go to the streets. And there is the anti-riot, anti-protest, or anti-mandamano bill that has been introduced in the parliament by Member of Parliament, Geoffrey Ruku. Now I want us to look at that, and then you will realize that this time round, there is a possibility that an ODM minister or CS will be in charge of security, will be the one charging the police against demonstrators. The new turn of events. Ladies and gentlemen, let us read this and connect these three together. It is said tougher times ahead as state brings back scrapped taxes. Those that we rejected. And we just read one or two paragraphs. Kenyans are looking at tougher times and more tax burdens ahead after the National Treasury revealed plans to reinstate 8 tax provisions that had been removed from the rejected Finance Bill 2024. I'm talking of 8 tax provisions, not 1, not 2, not 3, 8. The 8 tax measures will be consolidated into 3 new bills. The first one is the Tax Laws Amendment Bill 2024. The second one is the Tax Procedures Amendment Bill 2024. And the third one is the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill 2024. According to the Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi, the proposed amendments bill will provide a conducive environment for sustainable growth, innovation, and long-term economic resilience. Before we get into the very bills that are being reintroduced, I want us to get to the anti-demonstration bill that is meant to counter this, and I just want us to look at it very quickly. An MP has drafted a bill to regulate demonstrations in the country. The proposed Assemblies and Demonstrations Bill 2024 is being championed by Mbadi North MP Geoffrey Ruku. If it passes, protesters will not be allowed to possess any weapon and wear any clothing that may resemble that of the police officers while participating in the protest. I want us to look at the summary of this bill. It is known as the Assemblies and Demonstrations Bill. Assemblies and Demonstration Bill. In summary, this is what is contained in this bill. Details of the bill that seeks to bar protests on highways. 1, that there is establishment of regulating officers with powers to cancel protest. There are officers with powers that will wake up in the morning and say, we are not going to allow you to go for protest. Remember, this bill is drafted, yet in our constitution, people are allowed, there is freedom of picketing. In fact, not a freedom, but rights to picketing. and you are allowed to go on the streets as long as you don't have weapons, as long as you don't infringe on the rights of others. So they are saying there will be police officers established that have the powers to cancel the protest. Number two, regulating officers to be responsible for receiving notifications. You must go and notify them. They are the regulating officers. Protesters prohibited from wearing masks, attires resembling officers' military uniforms. That to me is not bad, but sometimes they wear a mask because of the tear gas. Now, come to think of it, protesters are not allowed to put on attires that look like the police. It's just good because we don't want confusion. We want to know that this is the police. But our policemen no longer quell tensions within the protesters by wearing uniforms. They wear civilians. They travel in ambulances. I mean, they don't identify themselves. You cannot separate whether this is the police, this is a civilian. So when you gag and you want people not to wear police uniform, and police themselves don't wear uniform. So I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Protesters barred from carrying any weapon, that is okay. It is even in the constitution. Police inspectors could halt gatherings they believe is a threat. They believe is a threat. Tell me, do we have any officers in the country that believe that protesters are not a threat? They work under orders, and any protest, according to them, is a threat. So if you tell me that police inspectors could halt gatherings they believe is a threat, it is as simple as that. They will tell you, come on, this gathering has been halted. We believe it is a threat, because that is what is written. You are not going to question the police officer how or what informs you to believe it is a source of threat. Then it is said organizers to be held liable for damage or disturbances. I don't know, because we've seen in many occasions people who are being sponsored, they come with weapons, crude weapons, they vandalize people's property, they cause chaos. So in this sense, how do you charge the organizers? Sonko once told us, those are not my words, Sonko once said that they used to give uniforms to opponents who could wear ODM uniforms to go and cause chaos, so that they say Raila this, Raila that. That would give them the authority to call off the strikes or demonstrations, saying that, you know, they have become chaotic. Now, organizers to appoint marshals to guide protesters. This is where I have a problem. Organizers to appoint marshals, that if this is, for example, let's say people are demonstrating in CBD, there must be someone like a prefect. Now that is like a leader, and that is the person who will be targeted. We've seen it before. During the Gen Z protest, the government tried. Who are the sponsors and who are the leaders? They used to arrest those who are, you know, giving opinions on social media, and they tried to look for their leaders. Gen Z say they are leaderless, partyless, tribeless, and all that. So they want to know, these marshals are simply to know who is the ringleader here, so that they deal with him. Because they know that if this is the ringleader, he organizes everything. Once he's caught, then they destabilize things. And they are saying organizing or attending unauthorized gatherings to attract a year jail. That is another catch. You have been told that inspectors have got the authority to halt any gathering. So an inspector will tell you, we have stopped this gathering, we feel it is a source of threat. Then when you say that, you know, the constitution allows us to do this, when you go, then you will be apprehended. They will tell you that we have declared this unauthorized. So that is basically the bill. The third part that I want to tell you, the ODM is putting pressure that they are given the interior docket after Kithure Kindiki. So three things are happening here. The finance bill has been introduced by an ODM figure, John Mbadi. The ODM fraternity will support it. There is a bill that has been introduced barring people from going to the streets. And then let's assume that by the time this bill is passed, they have the interior minister. The interior CS will work under the instruction or orders of William Samoei Ruto. So we are used to seeing ODM supporters on the streets. We are used to seeing ODM opposing any retrogressive bills that are not right and good for the common mananchi. This time it is the opposite. The timing of this bill and the timing of the reintroduction of the finance bill, parts of the finance bill 2024, coincides, and you know why. The bill, they know very well that when the finance bill 2024 is going to be reintroduced, people will be very mad and they might attempt to go to the streets. And so this is how things are going to work. You might see Junet Mohammed calling a press conference and say, we have outlawed any kind of demonstrations. It will be very funny, and I want us to get there. And then you see Junet Mohammed and Raymond Omolo now, or if it is given to someone, maybe someone or Samutien or Onyango, telling people that you are not going to go to the streets. We are used to seeing Raila saying that it is our right. Now we are going to see Raila, like he said, that the government has outlawed the demonstrations, don't go. Ladies and gentlemen, politics is very dynamic. Rigathi Gachagua, who told us that you opposed this finance bill, has now been kicked out. And Raila Amolo Odinga is now in. Kenyans are left on their own, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know what you think, but those are the times that we have. We are in tough times. And no one is saying in any way that Raila was born Akole Tiagas kwa streets. No. What do you think about the two incidences? The Finance Bill 2024 is being reintroduced. There is a bill barring people from going, and you've seen it. And you might even see some Onyango. Things are tough. What is your take, ladies and gentlemen?